Guys, there are a couple of ways you can do a hand. So, what I usually do is I take a sphere. Let's take it. So we go to object mode, Shift A, mesh sphere. We go to tab and we move it down here, and then we scale it and scale it only on this axis to make it smaller. So this is the basic of our palm. Very cool, right? Amazing. Now, the other thing that I do usually is to go to sculpt mode and try to make this palm a little bit more like a palm. Usually, since this is a stylized character, it's not needed that much to look super palmy, but it should be more squarish. Because the fingers will come from here, there will be only 3 fingers here and 1 thumb, which will come from this area. So let me show you what will happen. So from here we will have 1 finger like this, and from here we will have a couple of fingers, something like this. This is just the side wall of the fingers. So the fingers usually, how I make them with squares. Because especially in the stylized characters, when they are squarish, it looks better. And also, it looks better. That's mostly the thing, you know. It looks better. So now this is one way of doing it. I will add 1 square, I will extrude it, make 1 finger, adjust it a little bit, and then duplicate it to make the other fingers. The other way is by making a cube, and then from this cube to put some edge loops and to extrude from those edge loops and to make the fingers. But I think it will not be as good. But if you want, you can try it. I will show you how. First, let me just delete this. So this is one of the ways, and let me continue to show you what is this way. So I want for this palm to have fingers. So I will go back to object mode and Shift E, not Shift A, and cube. This cube, tab, go here, S, like this. S is to scale, of course. Now I'm G moving it, or just you can move it whatever, and I'm pressing and pushing it here. So this will be one of our fingers. This will be, in this case, our index finger. So I'm just going from the side view, and what I want to do here, I will grab my mouse, because with the mouse it will be easier to do this trick, little trick. Now I have to be on my polygons, so I will select this particular polygon, then rotate so I'm on the side of it, and now what I will do is adjust my view so I can extrude. How to extrude, by the way? Let me see. So I think it was Control right mouse button. Let me show you. You put your mouse here, Control right mouse button, then Control right mouse button, and then Control right mouse button, and you will see what happens. It just goes like this. So this is not very nice because it's not exactly from the front. So let's go to front view by pressing the key above the tab key, the tilde or whatever, and go front. And now from here it will be more nice. So Control and right mouse button. Let's do this. Control right, Control right, Control right. And now we have a finger. It looks relatively fine. It's a little bend, which is great. We will even press A and bend it a little bit more, like this. About the palm, it looks fat, but we will fix it in sculpt mode. Don't worry about it. So this is our finger. What I always do, I will rotate now, press home, because I want to see everything. And now, this is our finger, one of the fingers. I will go especially in to add modifier subdivision surface, and then I will add one more subdivision, and now is the interesting part. So now in subdivision surface, as we have it here, this will add subdivisions, but dynamically. We can disable and enable the modifier from this little icon here, which is like a monitor. So we enable and disable the modifier. Okay, it's cool, but we want it enabled. Now, since we are in edit mode, which is great, we have selected everything So we press A to select everything, double A to deselect, A to select everything. And now we'll press another shortcut, which is very, very good shortcut, and I use it all the time, Shift E. What Shift E is doing is doing nothing. But if you move your mouse to the right, you will notice it's starting to sharpen the angles. What this does is creasing. If you notice on the top left corner, just below the file and edit, you will have this crease plus and crease minus. If I move my mouse left, it will be minus. If I move my mouse to the right, it will be plus. Don't ever go to more than plus 0.5 because sharp things, very sharp things are not good in 3D. It has to have a specular on the edge, and that's why I think for our purpose it will be nice 0.4. So plus 0.4 and then I press to accept it. Now this will be our finger. I will apply the modifier, which I cannot do in edit mode. So I have to go to object mode and then apply the modifier. And this modifier now is applied and we have it here, which is great. Now I will go to sculpt mode and start working on the palm and this particular finger. So the palm, I select it with Alt Q, just Alt Q, Alt Q, Alt Q, Alt Q. You see it? Here. Alt Q, and then I just start working. I'm making this kind of indentation here in the palm a bit. Of course, you may not want to do it. Palm is also not super easy, but we have to do it. I'm making this kind of wrist here a little bit just to be able to see all the things that I want to do. Now I will make the palm a little bit more curvy because the palm from this view has to be a little bit curvy. From this view also has to be a little bit curvy if it's realistic. Now this is not realistic, but still all those characters which are not realistic, they are stylized, are based on realism, so we have to make them some things have to be very, very good. And even if you don't know anatomy, it's difficult to make nice characters if you don't know anatomy. Anatomy is a base for everything. So now I will bend this again a little bit, just move it, but I will leave it. I will not smooth it for now. Maybe I can smooth it a little bit here on the bottom, but the top I will leave a bit more squarish. And now you see how I have this, and the fingers of our character are very squarish. So I think we are in the right path here. Okay, now let's try to make sure we have indentation here and here between the fingers. And okay, that I think is good. Now I will select the finger, go to edit mode, A to select everything, and Shift D and move it. Notice how my camera is in the right position to move it whatever I want. You know, I just place the camera like this and then Shift D and move it with G. You can move it, of course, with the gizmo like this. It's not a problem at all. Okay, this looks like a nice arm, although those fingers look a little bit small for this big palm. So let's make them a little bit bigger. So press A, and now if I press S to scale them, it could work, of course. But what I like to do is press Alt S to inflate them. Just a tiny bit, not too much. I don't want them to touch, by the way. I want them to have distance between them, which is great, but I want them to be a little bit bigger because I need them to be. Now, what I need is also a thumb. So I will select one of them, press L, and then Shift D, move it, and start rotating this until it fits the purpose to be a thumb. Thumb. Or thumb. Thumb. I don't know. You see? Thumb. It's pretty cool. At least I see it as cool. Maybe it's not that cool. Who knows? But I think it's cool. And I will put it a little bit more backwards and up. Then I will go to sculpt mode and move this thing. Select it. Move. And this way, I'm just adjusting. So, don't expect yourself again. Expectations, very important. Don't expect yourself to make a good hand in the first try, or the second try, or the third try. Although, watch what I'm doing, try to do it. But the thing is that you shouldn't expect yourself to make something ultra nice in the first, second, third try. This comes with a lot of practice, and I cannot really tell you how to do it perfectly, but I'm trying to explain it as much as possible. And I think I did it by making it with steps, like create this, from this create that, move this a little bit like that, and this, and it should work somehow. Now, what I want to do is combine all of those. So now, combining meshes, we haven't learned that, right? So we go to object mode, and I will select this, the palm, for example, then shift select the fingers, and now I want to join them, which will definitely be with Ctrl J, most likely, or we can right click and press join. So Ctrl J, as you can see, is the shortcut here, but we can right click and join, and now they are one mesh. They are not connected inside this mesh. If we go to tab, we can definitely move different meshes around, but they are one mesh, which is great because now we can go to our sculpt mode and remesh it as one if we want. For now, we don't need that. For now, we just need to go to edit mode, and with here we need to put it in position. So I press G sometimes to move and just put it like this. I think this shouldn't be exactly here. Maybe it should be a bit more up. So a bit like this. And then of course with that, the arms themselves. By the way, the arms, they will not be visible at all. The only visible things from the arms will be the palms. So at some point we might even erase the arms. They will not be visible. So either we erase them or we don't erase them, it doesn't matter at all. But what I like to do also is to go to edit mode, and I like the arms always to be bent a little bit bent on the elbow. So I will press Ctrl R, add this, and just bend it. I don't want, you know, straight arms are always bugging me. I don't like them. That's why bend a little bit in the elbow is always a good choice to have. Now I'm making this a little bit smaller and move it down, and I think we are in a good shape. Now, of course, I will go here and add mirror modifier, and in the ideal case, we will have this. Now, this doesn't look ultra bad, but it doesn't look ultra good at all. Whatever, let me see it from the side view to the side. Alright, so if I wanna 3D print this, I don't want it to fall back or to fall forward. Now it's falling a little bit back, so I need to go to edit mode and put this a little bit backward. Maybe make it a bit wider. And just put those shoes just under the head. Let's go to the legs. And if I want to select the bottom part of the legs, I have to go Alt Z and then go to 1 to select the dots and just move them like this. It should work now. Now it's not falling backwards that much. It's not falling forwards. It's maybe falling a little bit backwards, but not too much. So I think it's kind of okay as it is right now. Should be. Let's go to the head, and in object mode, no, in sculpt mode, just to fix a few things. And then we can go and make the pants. The shorts. The shorts will be easy. Not super easy, but I will guide you through the process of creating the shorts. So the shorts, let's do this. First, we go to object mode. We create a cylinder. But in this cylinder, we don't need so many sides. There are 32 sides just behind me here on the just behind me, 32. So now instead of 32, if this is not open, when you create, you just click it here and it will open. It will be small here and you will make it bigger. It could be like this, just small. You can just click it, just here beside me. And now I will do 16. 16 is better for a number of reasons. I will click out of it. Now go to tab and move it down. This will be one of our the half of our shorts. So this will be, make it smaller and put it here. Now what I want to do is add the mirror modifier right away. Mirror, add it here. Good. Now I will decline this. And what else? Okay, I want to delete the bottom here, delete those faces, and delete the top here, X faces. So when you are on the polygon mode, I haven't shown you that. When you want to delete a polygon, you have to select the polygon and press X. When you select a polygon and press X, this menu will show up. This is the delete menu. And when you are on polygons, you want to delete faces. You don't want to dissolve or do something, just delete faces. And that's it. If you want to delete, to remove, for example, this edge, I will press 2 to go to edge select, select this edge, and we want to remove this edge, but not delete the whole thing. The polygon, I want to stay, but just delete the edge. This will be dissolve. So we press X and then dissolve edge and this. So that's mostly what I use. When I delete, I press delete faces, and when I dissolve edges, when I remove edges, I do this, but we will do it, so we will see. Now, I want to select the whole edge loop in here. So I go to edge select, which is 2. Here on the top left, you see, we are on the select mode edge select, double click on this edge loop and it's selected. Edge loop is the whole loop of edges, you can see. So we double clicked and it's selected. Now I will extrude them up. So I will press E and go up, extrude them up. If I'm from here and extrude, yeah, so you better be on the good camera angle to extrude it. Then I can G-move it, whatever I want, I can move it like this. So that will be until this point. Now, what I want to do, be careful, we need in the mirror modifier to turn on clipping. This will mean that when the vertices meet in the middle, where they meet in the middle, between the mirror part and the normal part, they will kind of stop there. They will not move past this middle point. This is the clipping. They will just stay there and they will lock themselves inside there, which is good. Now, what I want to do is the following. Alt-Z to see all the polygons. I want to go to the polygon select mode, which is 3, and I select it. And you know when on the polygon select mode that you can see the middles of the polygons, and you click those middles to select the polygon. So I click this polygon here, which is one of the front polygons where it starts to go in, and I click this polygon here, which is one of the back polygons here, but with control. And now everything in between is selected, and I want to delete this. So I press X and then faces, and they are deleted. And now I will create a bridge between the two trouser pants stuff. So I'll select this edge, the front one or the back one, it doesn't matter, and then control select the other one, and everything in between will be selected. And now I extrude to the middle, extrude until they meet in the middle. And since we have clipping, they met. So if we didn't have clipping, let me show you what happens. If we didn't have meeting, I extrude and they extrude past this point, and it's awful. That's why clipping is enabled in the mirror modifier, and then we extrude and they meet happily in the middle, and everything is so nice and amazing, and we are happy ever after and stuff like this. So it's very cool. It's very cool, I know. Now let's Alt-Z out of this and see what we have. So probably our belly is a little bit too much. So let's go to sculpt mode and just dial it down a little bit to not be so huge belly, and then go to the pants and just move them so they are a little bit catching the belly. And here, yes, I'll just move them around, try to see what happens. But overall, it looks fine. Of course, we always can add more geometry, which we might want to do at some point. But now, I think we are relatively okay. We cannot move or modify the mirror part. We always move the normal part. The mirror part will move with it. We cannot touch it. If for some point you reach to the point that you cannot touch some geometry piece with your brush and you cannot move it, and you say, but what happening here? Remember, it could be a mirror. So yeah, be careful about that too. So I'm moving here, moving, adjusting the back, and I think we are good. We have this. We will adjust it later. This is just a base for our pants. This will be our pants, but it's just a base for now. It's not, you know, that we made the pants and complete and everything is completely. No, we need just a base for now. I will just lift it up a bit. It could be more up, it could be more down. When we put the jacket, we will see. Next, we'll have to make the jacket. And with the jacket, we will be finishing the most important things that we have. The old things that will make our silhouette. Because the jacket, as you can see, have very thick sleeves. And those sleeves are making part of the silhouette. And also the neck here, the collar. So all those things we have to do. And then we will decide what to do next, what to improve, what to extrude, what to make smaller. We will see how our rabbit will look. For now, it looks relatively good if we compare it to the concept. So I will save it and we will continue in the next video as always.